Human rights are not things that are put on the table for people to enjoy. These are things you fight for and then you protect. I'm very conscious of the fact that you can't do it alone. It's teamwork. When you do it alone, you run the risk that when you are no longer there, nobody else will do it. What a friend we have in a tree. The tree is the symbol of hope, self-improvement, and what people can do for themselves. We tend to put the environment last because we think the first thing we have to do is eliminate poverty. But you can't reduce poverty in a vacuum. You're doing it in an environment. Every person who has ever achieved anything has been knocked down many times. But all of them picked themselves up and kept going, and that is what I have always tried to do. We cannot tire or give up. We owe it to the present and future generations of all species to rise up and walk. In a few decades, the relationship between the environment, resources and conflict may seem almost as obvious as the connection we see today between human rights, democracy and peace. Finally, I was able to see that if I had a contribution I wanted to make, I must do it, despite what others said. That I was okay the way I was. That it was all right to be strong. Because I was a woman, I was vulnerable. It was easy to vilify me and project me as a woman who was not following the tradition of a good African woman. The little grassroots people can change this world. You cannot enslave a mind that knows itself, that values itself, that understands itself. The generation that destroys the environment is not the generation that pays the price. That is the problem. We have a responsibility to protect the rights of generations, of all species, that cannot speak for themselves today. The global challenge of climate change requires that we ask no less of our leaders, or ourselves. An individual citizen cannot protect himself from the powers of large corporations or external governments. It is the responsibility of the government to protect its citizens. We all share one planet and are one humanity. There is no escaping this reality. And so I'm saying that, yes, colonialism was terrible, and I describe it as a legacy of wars, but we ought to be moving away from that by now. It's the little things citizens do. That's what will make the difference. My little thing is planting trees. You can make a lot of speeches, but the real thing is when you dig a hole, plant a tree, give it water, and make it survive. That's what makes the difference. In Kenya, women are the first victims of environmental degradation, because they are the ones who walk for hours looking for water, who fetch firewood, who provide food for their families. We need to promote development that does not destroy our environment. Nobody in the world is completely dependent on another person, but we are all interdependent. First of all, farmers should work with universities and research institutions in the country, and hopefully with the government. Sometimes we become bound by other people's thoughts because we are not sure about ourselves. It is important to nurture any new ideas and initiatives which can make a difference for Africa. Unfortunately, the issues of climate change, unlike many other issues, are very subtle because the changes we observe are very, very subtle. I'm sure that many people who are involved in an environmental effort, they will be pretty much encouraged by this recognition. It is wonderful when you don't have the fear, and a lot of the time I don't. I focus on what needs to be done instead. The developed world should be willing to help Africa and support her and make this energy affordable. The living conditions of the poor must be improved if we really want to save our environment. Once people see that you improve your life if you are educated, then education becomes a valuable tool and people want it. No matter who or where we are, or what our capabilities, we are called to do the best we can. It's a matter of life and death for this country. The Kenyan forests are facing extinction and it is a man-made problem. All of us have a God in us, and that God is the spirit that unites all life, everything that is on this planet. I know there is pain when sawmills close and people lose jobs, but we have to make a choice. We need water and we need these forests. Women are responsible for their children. They cannot sit back, waste time and see them starve. It would be good for us Africans to accept ourselves as we are and recapture some of the positive aspects of our culture. There's a general culture in this country to cut all the trees. It makes me so angry because everyone is cutting and no one is planting. Until you dig a hole, you plant a tree, you water it and make it survive, you haven't done a thing. You are just talking.